Hey, I'm Stephen Ewashkiw. Thanks for joining me for this adventure yoga practice. Today, it's about a 50-minute yoga practice. It's an all levels hatha practice that I call hold the line. You probably don't need any props today, but you might want a yoga mat. Unroll your mat, and I'll meet you there in just a few seconds. Sit up tall and close your eyes. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Lift your chest towards your thumbs, stretch up through your spine. Bow your chin. Lower your hands to your lap. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Thanks for being here. Please come into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can start by pedaling your heels a little bit if you like. Sometimes we call it walk the dog. It's a good way to stretch out your calves. If this is your first down dog of the day, I recommend that, but you don't have to. If you'd rather stretch out your spine rather than worrying about your lower legs, you can bend both knees, lift through your hips up and back to really find more length for your spine and push down and forward with your hands. Just take a couple breaths here for your down dog before I start to offer you the work of this class. And then come to a still down dog. You can choose knees bent or legs straight. Your call. Push through your left hand. Push it down and forward to really stretch out through your left arm, through your left shoulder. Feel a little more space being created for the left side of your ribs. Push down through your right foot and stretch back through the right side of your body. Push down through your left hand. Push down through your right foot. And stretch along that line. A diagonal line through your body. Keep that. Push your right hand down and forward. Stretch out through your right arm. Stretch out through your right shoulder, and maybe even start to feel it through the right side of your rib cage. And then stretch back through your left foot. Stretch back and down, and really push down through your left foot. Stretch through the left side of your body. Push through your right hand. And find that connection between your left foot and your right hand, coming up through the center of your body. Push through your left hand and right foot. Push through your right hand and left foot. Keep that work. And then draw all of those connection points up and into your body. Hold this line here of Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog pose. And then look back at your feet. About half as long as one of your feet is. So half a foot length. Step forward. It's not very far. And then take your left hand and reach for your right leg. If you can reach below your knee on your calf, do. If you can reach all the way down to your right ankle, do. Stretch back through your right hip and look under your right arm. with your left hand, push into your right leg. Pull on it with your left hand and push your right leg back into your hand. Stretch it back through your right hip, push out through your right hand. And smile. And steady your breath. If you're wanting to use your pranayama today, tap into your Ujjayi pranayama or whatever pranayama you're focusing on. And then come back to regular down dog. And take a moment here. Notice how your sides feel. One side probably feels different than the other at this point. And then take your right hand and reach for the outside of your left leg. Walk your hand as low on your left leg as is possible to get a grip. Push your left leg into your right hand. Pull with your right hand onto your left leg. Push with your left hand and stretch back through your left hip as you look under your left arm. Parivritta Adho Mukha Svanasana. Parivritta just means revolve. So it's revolved down dog. Or twisted, we sometimes translate that as. Stretch back through your left hip, push out through your left hand. Open up through your whole left side. And twist a little more. And come back. Adho Mukha Svanasana with a slightly shorter stance. You may find that your heels come to the ground here when they don't in the full length of down dog. Enjoy that if that's new to your practice. Lift through your hips. And then slowly and steadily walk your hands back to Uttanasana, forward fold at the back of your mat. So walk back and fold forward. Touch the ground here. It can be fingertips or hands flat. If you can't do that with straight legs, not a problem. Bend your knees until you can touch the ground. That's going to give you the space to open up, to find that day when all of a sudden you can do Uttanasana with straight legs. But don't be in a rush. Just keep working on it, keep focusing on it, and eventually you achieve your goal. That work takes a lot longer if you do Uttanasana with your hands off the ground though. You have to recommit to bending your knees and touching the ground. Modifications tend to be a little bit easier when you're at home, a little bit harder when you're in a public yoga class, when other people can see you and you can see them. Practice touching the ground by bending your knees here if that's what you need, so that you can get through that need of the ego to be doing what others are doing when you're in a group setting. And steady your breath. Relax your head so it hangs heavy. And then slowly walk your hands forward, this time into a full length of downward facing dog. So you probably have to walk your hands a little bit further forward than they were. And stretch it out. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift up through your left leg. And stretch out through your left heel. Push down through your right hand. Find the diagonal line through your body here. And then look forward. Step your left foot forward. Come up to a lunge. Keep your hands on the ground for this lunge. And look forward. Then we're going to find the diagonal through our legs. So push down through your left foot, push down through your right toes, and diagonally engage them up in towards the center of your pelvis. So without moving your feet, hug them in. Pull your left foot back energetically, pull your right foot forward energetically, but not just straight ahead. Imagine that you're drawing your knees diagonally towards each other. So that your legs get stronger, more connected. Your body will take the path of least resistance. It's not just a saying. Your body will be like, I can just hang out in the lunge. I don't need to work here. I can just hang out. No one's watching. Instead, don't just hang out.
hang out and put in your focus. Put in enough effort to support yourself so that you can float your hands off the ground for a moment and see, oh, great, that's just enough. Try that. And then step it back down dog. Place your hands down, push it up and back.
Lift your right leg up. Lift through your right heel. Stretch out through your right leg and your right hip. And push your left hand down and forward. That'll give you more lift through your body. Look forward and step your right foot forward. Lunge.
Come up onto your fingertips and look forward. Hey Shiva, what's going on today? I can see your heart. Thanks for welcoming me and... Oh, hi, you're here too? Sorry, I was just distracted by Shiva. He's usually on the other side of me. Push down through your feet. Pull your left foot back forward, pull your right foot back energetically so that your legs get stronger. So that you're recommitting to this focus and holding this line. And then play with floating your hands off the ground. And see if you have put in enough effort to support yourself and not just be relaxing into your hands. Place your hands down and step it back.
Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Push through your right hand, lift your left leg up. Stretch back and down with your right heel. Pigeon prep. Step your left leg forward. Externally rotate your left leg. That means turn your knee out to the side. Point your foot, point your ankle, and bring your shin down to the ground. Have your left knee wider than your left hip. Slide your right foot back and bring your right knee down to the ground. And place your right foot flat. If you'd like your left shin more parallel to the front of your mat, you can do that. And then walk your hands forward. I like hands to prayer today, but you can do what you like with your arms. And then fold forward. I like hands to prayer because it's giving me a little more shoulder opening here. Just what my body is asking for today. Find what's right for you in your upper body. And then let's find the diagonal line through our body here. It's easy in pigeon prep to collapse. But in Stephen's classes, I never say never. And I never say relax in pigeon prep. This is a pose of engagement. It's a pose to remind you to not give in to the desire for the path of least resistance, but to recommit and hold the line, to steady yourself, just like you did in the lunge pose. So push down through your right foot, push down through the whole front of your left leg, and use this energetic engagement, technically called isometric engagement, to draw from your left knee and right knee in towards each other. You may find that your belly engages, that your butt engages, that your hips lift slightly to engage. That's because this isometric engagement, drawing your left knee and right knee diagonally in towards each other, helps engage muscles. With this, it's called isometric engagement. There are three kinds of muscle engagement. There's flexion, extension, which we're familiar with, and then there's isometric. It means that the muscle doesn't get shorter or longer, but still engages. Keep that work. Keep committing to your pigeon support network. And if you lose it, come back to it again and again.
Lift your head and chest. Lock your hands back underneath your shoulders. Place your left hand on your left thigh. And then really create that engagement of left knee and right knee towards each other. If you want to watch what happens to me, look at the screen now. This is what happens when I draw my left knee and my right knee energetically towards each other. I get a nice lift, and I can go hands free. If I'm collapsed in the pose, hands free is really unstable. Here, drawing in and holding myself together, it becomes possible. Try that yourself. Draw your left knee back. Draw your right knee forward, but diagonally, in towards each other, into the center of your hips. So your hips lift and get engaged, and so you can go hands free too. Cool, right? I know. Bring your hands down, tuck your right toes under, and push it back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha your Svanasana. And lift your right leg up. Push through your left hand. Stretch up and back through your right foot. And then pigeon prep the other side. Bring your right knee forward. Externally rotate your right leg. Turn your right knee out. Point your right foot. Bring your right shin down to the ground. Right knee wider than your hip. And then walk your left leg back. Look forward. Place your left foot flat. And come down. You're going to go back to the prayer with elbows wide, but you can do a little hand pillow, or you can stretch your arms straight out. You choose. I'm telling you what to do a lot. It's nice to give you some places where you get to choose what you're doing. And steady your breath. And then let's find this engagement, drawing along the whole diagonal line of your legs into your pelvis. Push down through your left foot. Push down through the whole front of your right leg. And draw your left knee and right knee in towards each other. You won't get as much lift in your hips as you found when we were upright on the first side. But don't worry, we'll come back to that. But you will find a little bit of engagement here, hopefully. A little bit of your butt lifts, your pelvic floor engages, your belly engages, your butt engages. Draw your left knee and right knee diagonally in towards the center of your pelvis. Create that support for your pigeon. If we just stretch out here and collapse, it can lead to stress, to injury. Lift your head and chest. Place your hands on your mat. Bring your right hand back onto your right thigh. And then find that engagement. Right knee, left knee towards each other. Draw in and lift up. Draw in and lift up so much that your hips lift. The bottom of your hips tone, engage. And you can bring your left hand off the ground and your right hand off the ground. If you're feeling fancy, you can do a little mudra here. What's up, Shiva? Gonna give Shiva some mudras. Props to you, buddy. I'm in a good mood today, can you tell? That support is what you need again and again to hold yourself together. But now, bring your hands down, tuck your left toes under. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Stretch it out evenly and draw it in evenly. Look forward. Walk forward. And come to Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of your mat. And remember that your work in Uttanasana is to touch the ground. If you need to bend your knees, you have to remind yourself of that again and again, even if the teacher isn't reminding you. Push down through your feet and stand up. Reach up. Stretch it out. Bring your arms to your sides. Tadasana. Om Namah Shivaya. I'm on a little Shiva thing this morning because he's right here and I get to see him the whole time. Om Namah Shivaya. It's a little mantra to Shiva that really is like, oh, I bow to you, Shiva. But it's got a lot more depth to it. It's like a sutra. It's like a line of poetry. And it's really saying, I bow to the teacher within and the teacher without. The things that you learn in your yoga practice from day to day are there to remind you, to remind yourself that when you see you're taking the path of least resistance, to come back again and again and recommit your focus. I bow to the teacher within is saying, like, even if the teacher doesn't remind you to bend your knees to touch the ground in Uttanasana, you remind yourself. Because that's where the benefit of the pose is going to come if you need to bend your knees to touch the ground. That's how you get to straight legs one day. Straight legs, everybody. Separate your feet wide. And stretch your arms out on an angle like I'm doing. I call this one star pose. Stretch out. Stretch out through your left hand and your right leg. Stretch out through your right hand and your left leg. And stretch. Not really a yoga pose, but it's nice to help find these lines. So stretch out, and then from your right foot and your left hand, draw energetically up into the center of your body. From your left foot and your right hand, draw in and support yourself. And breathe. Bring your hands to your waist. Step your feet together. And if you turned to be long on your mat like I'm doing, stand at the top of your mat in Tadasana. Tadasana. Stretch your arms up, reach up, and fold forward, Uttanasana. Step your right leg back. Set your legs up for Warrior Two. So walk your left foot in a little, make your right foot parallel to the back of your mat. Push down through the baby toe side of your right foot so your inner arch of your right foot is really engaged. Stretch your left knee over your ankle. Push through your feet, but draw yourself in with your legs so that you can lift yourself up and support yourself. And stretch your arms out. And when you're ready, look forward. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. See these little things here at the side of Shiva's head? Those are actually dreadlocks flying out to the side. One of them made Virabhadra. It's a whole great story there. Shiva creating the warrior who became the leader of his army. Your front knee is one of the path of least resistant points in Warrior 2. It tends to roll in because it takes less work. You don't have to use your butt as much. But use your butt to point your left knee forward. Draw your legs in to support yourself, even though the pose is calling for this big stretch out. Turn your left palm up and reverse your warrior. Sink into your hips. Keep pointing your left knee forward. Keep that point of engagement at your left glutes. Think about all the work it takes to do this. Think about what it is that you're working on in your life. And remember that it's your choice. Come up, Parsvakonasana, left forearm on your thigh. Side angle. It's your choice. The goals in your life, the tasks you've set, your yoga practice. Why not do your best? Put in the effort and recommit to that effort again and again. Why not? Revolved lunge has your right hand down, left hand up. Bring your right hand down, lift your right heel, square your hips, and stretch your left arm up. Push down through your left foot and your right toes and draw in here. Stretch out through your left hand and your right hand, but draw in to support your torso. We went with the back foot, we went from warrior 2 foot to lunge foot. Keep rolling it over to the outside of your right foot. So the baby toe edge is on the ground. So the outer heel is on the ground. You can always look at the screen to see what I'm talking about. We went from warrior 2 to lunge foot. Keep going and turn it over because we're going to Vashisthasana. Step your left foot in front of your hips, kickstand variation, or stack your left foot on your right foot. Vashisthasana stage 1. Lift through your hips. Even though you're stretching out through your arms and your legs, draw everything in and turn your chest up. Commit to being strong and focused here. The adventure of Vashisthasana. And downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward. And walk forward. Uttanasana. And stand up, reach up. Urdhva or Namaskarasana. Bring your hands to your sides. Asana. Reach up. Fold forward. Uttanasana. Step your left foot back. Walk your right foot over a little. Spin your left heel down. And when you're ready, Virabhadra. Virabhadrasana 2. Find your warrior 2. Om Namah Shivaya. Hear your internal teacher instructing. Bend your right knee. Point it straight ahead. Don't collapse your right knee into the left. And then draw from your feet up, into your legs, into your hips. And draw from your arms, along your fingers, into your torso. Stretch up through your spine. And turn your right palm up. And reverse your warrior. Sit low. Open your right knee. In reverse warrior, it's hard to go beyond knee pointing straight ahead and open too wide. It's easy to collapse your knee. Path of least resistance. Fight that. Put in the resistance. Put in the work. It's in the effort that we reap the rewards. Parsvakonasana, side angle with your right forearm on your right thigh. Left arm reaching forward. Push through your right arm. And twist your torso open, lift your left hip up, and tuck your right hip underneath you by pointing your right knee forward. And then everything that's reaching out, draw it in. Find a little more support in your Parsvakonasana. And then revolved lunge is the first stage of that change of your back foot. Bring your left hand down to the ground. Lift your left heel, come onto the ball of your left foot, and stay there in the lunge shape. And stretch your right arm up. Revolved lunge. Reach up. Draw your right knee back, left foot forward. Use that to help you lift up. Draw your arms in and turn up. And smile. And then think about what happened with your back foot, your left foot. We went from warrior 2 foot to lunge. Now keep going. over to the baby toe side, outer edge of your left heel down, and then step your right foot to the center of your mat, or all the way into feet stacked Vashisthasana stage 1. Lift your hips and drop everything in. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Down dog. Walk your hands back about halfway. Turn your heels in, turn your toes out, and come into the squat. Malasana. Push your arms back into your legs, squeeze your legs into your arms, and stretch up through your chest. And steady your breath. That whole sequence was challenging. Right? It's only as challenging as you make it. But if you want to succeed, you have to put in some effort. Enough effort. Place your left hand on the ground. Stretch your right arm up. An open twist in Malasana. Reach out, reach up, push your left shoulder back, squeeze your left leg in, create just enough resistance there so that you can open up. And then change sides. Bring your right arm inside your right leg, place your right hand flat, and stretch your left arm up. Push back with your right shoulder, twist with your spine, and reach it open. Put in just enough work. And come back to center and sit down. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Walk your hips back a little. Walk the flesh of your butt out a little for Dandasana, staff pose. Bring your legs together or as close together as is comfortable. Place your hands flat, or if your arms are a little shorter, you can make fists so that they can touch the ground. And sit up. The touching the ground, though, is just for support. So draw yourself in to support the pose so that you could go hands free. It's not really push, push, push. It's push as a guidance. Just as a reminder. Walk your hands back behind you. Pull your heels in. Take your left leg underneath your right leg. Cross your right leg over top. Set up for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take your left arm. Look at outside your right leg. So I like to take my right hand and move my right leg in so I can get a little more connection of my left arm outside my right leg. Then take your right hand back behind you. Push your right hip towards your left foot. So rather than moving your right hip back with you, push it forward. Twist your spine. Ardha Matsyendrasana. And twist. Place your hands behind you, lean back, and change sides. Right leg on the bottom, left leg over top. Pull your left foot back towards your right hip a little. With your left hand, move your left leg over to the right, and then twist it to the left with your right arm outside your left leg. Place your left hand on the ground, and twist. Put in enough resistance work here that you're getting the support to do the twist. Push your left hip forward. Push your right shoulder back. Even move your left shoulder back. And stretch up long through your spine. That's the foundation of this pose. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Matsyendra was the lord of the fish. And come back to center. Stretch your legs out in front of you. shift forward on your mat and lie down on your back. Bring your left knee in towards you. And with your right hand, hold your left knee. Move your left hand over to the left. Parivrtta Supta Padangusthasana. Look to the left and twist to the right. Take your left foot, touch your right leg with it so it can rest there. And then push your left shoulder towards the ground. Twist your left knee over to the right. Instead of drawing in here like we've been doing all class, stretch out through your left hand. Stretch out through your right leg. And stretch out through your left knee. And come back up to center. Stretch your left leg straight. Bend your right knee. Hold outside your right knee with your left hand. Put your right arm over to the side and place it on the ground. And then twist to the left. Look over your right shoulder. Touch your right foot onto your left leg. Move your right shoulder down onto the ground if it's available. Stretch out through your right arm and left leg. And stretch your right knee to the left. Parivrtta Supta Padangusthasana. Revolve on your back, hands to big toe pose. Some pose names are just very literal. We're not doing hand to big toe here. So I want it to be a little more of a relaxing stretch than a strenuous stretch. But stretch out. Open yourself up. And come back to center. And center yourself. Here, straighten your spine and do a twist. Stretch your legs straight and together. Bring your arms to your sides, straight in at your hips. Like Tadasana, but on your back. Supta Tadasana. Engage your ankles and feet like you would standing. Stretch through the back of your neck and the whole, all of your neck, the whole of your neck. Lengthen. And then take the path of least resistance. Shavasana. Separate your feet a little. Separate your legs a little. Separate your upper arms away from your upper body a little. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Allow your legs to turn out as they relax. Close your eyes. Release your breath. And although we have been working hard to resist the urge to relax, now is the time. Relax. Allow the path of least resistance to take over. Whatever goals you are working on, whether it's your yoga practice, a new project, a relationship, it's important to find time for yourself. It's important to find the space to relax. Those of you who work from home know the trap that we all fall into when we are self-employed. Working 7 days a week with no breaks. No holidays, because that's no pay.
Those breaks are so important to reset, to digest the work that you've been doing. Take a holiday here. Digest and reset. Shavasana. Deepen your breath. And start to move your breath through your body. Move your fingers and toes. Stretch through your arms and stretch through your legs. Stretch your arms up overhead, along the ground, and really stretch from your fingertips through your toe tips. Stretch along all lines of your body. And then bend your knees. Stretch through your arms. Then roll over onto your side. Keep your legs heavy and use your arms to press yourself up to seated. And come to a seated position on your mat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And close your eyes and sit up tall. Put in enough effort to stay focused on your goals. The value, the reward, and the adventure live in the effort. If the things you're looking to achieve were easy, they would bore you. We challenge ourselves so that we can grow. Continue growing. But remember that that takes effort. that you have to commit to again and again. Thanks for your commitment today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope your Shavasana with the sounds of the morning birds here at Dasaseni was as peaceful as mine. If you've got any questions or comments about the class, please put them in the comments section below. And I hope to see you on the mat soon. Namaste.
Thanks for practicing today. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please just take a second, click on my picture right up over there, and you're subscribed. It helps you find out when I've got new classes, and it actually helps other people find out when I'm posting new classes too. So thanks, helping me out, helping everybody out. If you would like another class with me, maybe another day, there's one of my classes I recommend. You can just click on that, add it to your watch later list, and come back to it when you're ready. Thanks for practicing.